Welcome to round 6 of Global Formula Automobilista, where the commentary is back this week, so remember to turn my mic on. We're here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the Canadian Grand Prix, and let's get on with the grid. So taking pole position is Jenson Button for Harvey Racing, one of 3 teams this week who have reached full power on their engine. Valentino Rossi takes second for CP Pop, not one of the teams with full power and with high downforce for the first time this season for the team. Max Verstappen Friendly Motorsport, still on low downforce, but they have full power. They should be the quickest on the straights of everyone here. Barthez, championship leader, missed out on the podium for the first time last race, finished 4th, starts 4th today. DTK Racing, the 3rd team on full power. Juan Manuel Fangio, who drives for the Red Knight team that probably should have had a podium last time, but unfortunately didn't get one. Chris Hoy takes 6th with DTK, ahead of Martin Brundle for Harvey Racing, Nick De Vries for NLE, and Jim Clark for Red Knight. And Leo De Angelis for Bravera rounds out the top 10, of course the only other team apart from DTK, Harvey and NLE to take a podium this season. Mika Hakkinen, 2KF1, who hasn't bought anything for this round, still Pink Boy, ahead of John Watson, and Gilles Villeneuve in the other Bravera. Ayrton Senna, leading other new teams in 14th place for Falcon, Nick Heidfeld in 15th for High Tech. Mario Andretti takes 16th for Excelsior, Alain Prost in 17th, Frentzen 18th, Gurney 19th, and Schumacher 20th for Bangalore. With Fernando Alonso, really terrible qualifying considering his teammate is second on the grid. Sergio Perez 22nd, with the 2 CAS racing cars of Ide and Hamilton, lowest powered cars on the grid, at the back. So everybody is going to start to form up on the grid. Just going to let everyone skip forwards and the race will start momentarily. Here we go. Lights get ready. Button on pole, Rossi second, Verstappen third and Barthez fourth. Who's going to get the launch at the start? Button gets an absolute flyer and he pulls ahead of Rossi pretty much straight away. Verstappen has a look, Barthez and Hoy's got past Fangio's, it's all a bit close. Brundle in the middle as Clark gets pushed out wide, allowing Hakkinen up 3 places. Good launch from him in the middle of the pack. Senna's dropped down a few as Frentzen has already lost his rear wing. What's happened to him? We'll just quickly find out that's happened here. Oh, it's a collision off the start with, I think that is 21, which is Dan Gurney. Right, we'll just have a quick look. So Frentzen just slowed down a bit and Gurney's just got caught up in the middle, unfortunately. Yeah, so there's all a bit of a pack there and he just yeets into the back of Frentzen there. Frentzen's coming in this lap, Gurney's at the back of Hamilton. So Button, he's still leading with Rossi second and Verstappen now in third, trying to do what he can. Barthez is leading BTKs as Hakkинen's made a good jump and Brundle's lost quite a few positions. Another big loser is Jim Clark down to 13th, who done pretty good through turn 1 but lost it out in turn 2, got stuck on the outside and watched as everyone went through, including public enemy number 1 Nick Heidfeld, who's got himself up to 12th for High Tech. Driving for him, this is Brundle having a look at Hakkinen into the hairpin. He's got so much more power than the 2KF1, he's got 0.13 is actually De Angelis is having a think about coming back, but he's not going to make it this lap. So as we head towards the final chicane, the World Champions on the first lap, Buttons leads from Rossi as Rossi gets it very slidey there. Is this going to give Verstappen a chance to get past into turn 1? Might do, as Watson's all crossed up out the chicane, but he keeps it out the wall for the moment. So we're heading into the corner. De Vries having a look at Fangio. He's actually having a really good think about it. Doesn't quite make it round though. Got a big clump of cars here. That's Alonso up to 18th from his 21st starting position. Making some moves, so I think Alonso coming through the pack is going to be the first bits of interesting moves we're going to see. Kind of our entertainment at the beginning here. De Vries is trying to hold off Brundle. I think Brundle is probably going to be quicker, but De Vries is definitely faster down the straights, which is going to help him avoid getting overtaken for a while, I think. Fangio is falling away from the DTKs already, so that might ruin it for De Vries and Brundle for a bit. Just how long is it going to take Bartes to get past Verstappen, start to chase after Rossi, who, well, I don't think anyone's chasing Button at the moment. He appears to have already just disappeared. Into the final chicane as Button gets very loose through there. They're all a bit slidey through the chicane. It's actually Fangio's had a spin. Fangio's had a half spin, held up Brundle, but none of them have gone round. None of them have gone round. But that has lost Brundle a heap of time. De Vries done 25.7, Brundle's done 27.6 for that. Just 2 seconds in all of that. As Clark has made a position on Villeneuve and Watson. Watson fights back on Villeneuve. Watson gets the place back through turn 2. Decent move then. It's just being thrown up all through that section through turn 5. His Button's approaching 2-second lead now. And Rossi's actually getting 2 seconds on Verstappen as well. So just starting to spread out. That slide from Fangio has really made it a bit harder for Brundle. Watson's now 12th. Heidfeld, he's dropped back down from 12th to 14th. That's not too bad. Prost is actually in a points pay position for once. That'd be nice for him. And his teammate Alonso has now caught up to Senna. So we'll see how long it takes him to get past. But I don't think it's going to be long because it's got a lot more downforce than the Falcon and is a much more developed driver. Head towards the front, see what's happening. Verstappen's pulled a long way ahead of Bartes there. Gets a bit sideways as a toy. And a bigger slide in the back there for De Vries. As De Angelis now has had a massive slide through the chicane. I have a feeling this chicane as Heidfeld goes all the way round. Somebody else is in the wall. That's the other Excelsior of Andretti. This Wall of Champions chicane is going to be interesting, I think. They're all struggling on the curbs. Yep, he's lost it and then got punted round by Senna. He's been helped into that spin. Oh, that is a disaster for Andretti. Can he get it out the wall? I mean, we all hope so, but Excelsior, it's another front wing for the team. It's not what they needed at all. Brundle having a look into turn 5 on Fangio. That's not going to work, mate. That's optimistic at best. I think you'll find. There's the rest of them all kind of streaking away. Alonso, of course, has made up a position and all that, although he's just falling away. The pack is starting to spread out as the powers change. Alonso's just blasted past Heidfeld out that corner. And out of turn 7, it was just nothing. He just went straight around him. Senna's low drag setup is about the only thing that's holding Alonso off down the straight, but into the hairpin, he's having a look, certainly thinking about it. In fact, he's going to blast up the corner. He's probably going to make that by the time we get out the next corner. Brundle having a look at Fangio. As in fact, De Vries has made it past Bartes. Bartes has lost a couple of positions. So he had a moment at the chicane. Must have done, because he's ahead as we go in. Yep. Oh, he's kept it going there. He's slowed his teammate up. And that is not what you expect from the championship leader. De Vries is now thinking about an overtake on Hoy. He's actually pulled a 5-second gap to Verstappen in the lead. So leads are just starting to split up as they're all working out if they can navigate that chicane. As Alonso is still stuck behind Senna for the moment. I'm sure we'll get him at some point, but now is not the time. The two Cavs racing cars. Linus Stern in 20th and 21st. As Andretti finally makes it back to the pits. But now with a 4-second lead over Rossi, he's got 2.5 seconds to Verstappen. There's almost 6 seconds back to Hoy already, so the little mistakes they're making are really spreading the pack out. Fangio is doing a good job to hold Brundle ahead of him, and Hakkinen is sticking with this pack, so he's trying to pretend he's a leader at this point. Clark hasn't made better starts as Prost and Falca are actually both in the points at the moment, so if they can keep that up, that's going to be pretty useful. As Jenson Button does a 1:23.2, new fastest lap of the race. We'll go on board with Fernando Alonso as we head towards the final corner. You can just see Senna, he's not got quite as much power as Alonso, but it's not much different. Oh, Senna gets a slide and Alonso actually goes round in sympathy. Wow. Was not expecting that, as I think that's Mario Andretti has come out the pits. Yes, right by the leader. And we already, at lap 5, have a driver who has been lapped. I mean, that is mostly down to him having to pit and losing a massive amount of time without front wing, but it's a short circuit, and also Button is extremely fast. Now, with the long straights and wide Grand Prix circuit that we have, as Rossi is showing, pretty much on first attempt, they should be able to unlap themselves, as Barthez has lost a few positions here. Because he had another moment at the chicane. Must have done, because suddenly Fangio... Yes! So Barthez has also got it crossed up on the chicane, he's kept it going. And Fangio and Brundle have thought, oh, we'll take that please. So Brundle goes around the outside into turn 1. Gives Barthez space, but he's got the inside line for turn 2. Fangio slips it up the inside and goes, I'm going to take that as well. And Hakkinen also has a go, but Barthez has it on the exit. Yeah, back to what I was saying. Blue flag shouldn't be as much of an issue this round. The circuit's wide enough, the straights are long enough, but there's only a few sections where you can really hold someone up. So for the moment, it should be relatively painless, although saying that, Andretti has just completely balked Verstappen. As De Vries had a look at Hoy into the final corner, but he managed to survive it, as Watson now goes almost fully around, hits the wall as he gets going, but he's fine. Senna, having scared Alonso off, is quite happy now. He's got a biggish gap to Heidfeld, who's also had a spin. As that's Hamilton around the outside of Perez. Good move into the final chicane from the Briton. Button's lead is now come down to 2.5 seconds. So Rossi has found some pace, or Button's lost some time somewhere. Perhaps at the final chicane. That's closing up at the front. So Barthez, having made 2 mistakes at the chicane, is now probably looking vulnerable, and Hakkinen's thinking, right, can I pressure this guy? So that would certainly be a way to deal with him. Of course, current championship leader. He hasn't finished outside the top 4 all season, which is helping to keep DTK Racing at the top of the championship as well. But saying that, Button and Harvey are definitely looking like the strongest team at the moment. Button himself has won the last 2 races and is absolutely flying here. He's comfortably ahead, as Hoy has now found himself blocked by Andretti, as Barthez has another slide in the background out the final chicane. He is really not enjoying that corner. Hoy is finding Andretti completely in the way. Andretti kind of finally gets through. Yeah, now De Angelis is having a go at Hakkinen, who's lost time with Barthez. And I think we have a yellow flag somewhere at the back. We do. I think Schumacher might have had a spin. The final chicane, judging by that. Yep, he's lost it. Actually, Alonso's nearly gone as well. And Alonso, once again, is losing time at that chicane, and where he should be overtaking everyone, he's just throwing it away. He has a look at Ide, but he can't get past public enemy number 2. So De Andres is past Clark in the hole. Truck car with the backmarkers even. I think that's De Vries is now at risk of being overtaken by Martin Brundle. This is our next action spot, I think. We'll just sit on board with Brundle as we head towards the final chicane. You can see, look at that, De Vries is pulling away down the straight, that low downforce, and it's just giving him a less drag, which is just helping on this straight. Although as soon as he gets the braking point, of course, Brundle's looking good with his extra downforce. Bartes, let's go on board with him. He's made it that lap, well done. Well, these guys seem quite happy as well. De Andres might have lost a bit of time, but not too much, as that was Prost trying to lap Andretti. But Heidfeld nearly goes round, but keeps it going. He's losing time, and this Perez battle will start to catch up if he's not careful. Alonso having a look at Ide. This should be an easy move. There might be less drag on that Cass racing car, but Alonso has so much more power. He's a much faster driver, but he's not made it up enough through turn 1, and Ide's just battled past him at turn 2 with the better line, so, you know, what can you do? De Vries is getting closer to Hoy, and I think that's his best defence from Brundle, is to attack Hoy, ruin it for Hoy, and hope that all of that can help him. Top 3 have just disappeared, to be honest, from Hoy. This group are battling so hard as De Vries is having a look. De Vries up the inside. De Vries takes 4th place into the final corner as Hoy loses a slide and loses any chance he had at carrying momentum. Now Hoy at risk of being overtaken by Brundle into turn 1. Brundle up the inside. Decides discretion is the better part of valour and just keeps his nose in, but not far enough to really affect an overtake. Hoy keeps his 5th place for the moment. Let's have a yellow flag again. Final chicane, as I think Senna might have had a moment. Let's see what it was. Yep, Senna takes a bit too much at the chicane, loses a load of time. Heidfeld decides to also have a moment in sympathy. But they got it going again. Whereas Hamilton there through. Alonso has got past Ide. As Gurney and Frentzen are perilously close to being lapped by Button already. Again, they have pitted, so you can say that, but not much. Rossi has done his best to keep track of Button. He's kept it around 3 and a bit seconds, but he's going to need something bad to happen to Button, I think. Jensen has disappeared up front. He really has just gone. No one can keep up with him. So Button and Rossi navigate the final chicane. Verstappen gets a bit slidey, but he's all good. But here we go, Chris Hoy with Brundle less than 2 tenths behind. He's having a look into the final chicane. Got the inside. Hoy keeps ahead for the moment. Both get a good exit. What can Brundle do now? He's close, he's in the slipstream. He's going to attempt to pass. He's got the inside line. He's thinking about it, but Hoy turns in, Hoy blocks. Hoy keeps 5th place for DTK Racing. Clever driving. Push them all straight through, they're all fine. And Heidfeld, again, he's... I was praising him earlier, but he's just being useless on his own, as I think Schumacher's going round again. This final chicane is going to be entertaining, and somebody's going to end up in that wall. I can almost guarantee it. Frentzen has now let the first 2 guys through. Now, not like the last couple of races where blue flag has appeared and it's taken 3 laps to get past. Here at Canada, 2 corners at most, I'd say. The Button cleverly and stealthily navigates the final chicane without any issues whatsoever. Verstappen power sliding out the final corner like a madman. And we're going to go on board with Brundle. He's got the launch, he's got the line, he's got the inside. What's he going to do? No, he decides that Hoy should probably take it because it'd be suicide otherwise. As Barthez has now gone round again. This is his 3rd spin at the final chicane. What is he doing? What is wrong with him? Just too much curb on the way in. I mean, yes, he's kept it out the wall, but anyway, just what I'm on board with Fangio here is he's basically pushing Brundle. If he can stick behind Hoy here, Fangio has got past Brundle. Brundle has gone from being on the attack and almost having the place of Hoy to losing it to Fangio at the next corner. So great opportunistic driving there from the Red Knight, as he's actually now having a look at Hoy through turn 5. That's actually the 2nd time somebody's had a look at thinking about doing something to Hoy out of turn 5 into 6, but it really is not an overtaking spot in any sense of the word. So Verstappen now has caught up to Frentzen and Gurney. For helping us, Button has used that chance to pull away. So Barthez is now just losing time and so much more time to this battle here, but he's still not been overtaken by Hackman. I mean, the fact that you can be this awful and still be going is quite impressive, to be honest. So here we go, Brundle having a look at Fangio into the final chicane. Is he going to pull off the overtake? No, he's really let Fangio go. Oh, and he's had to get out the throttle because Fangio was parked on the apex at the wrong time. Barthez is sideways again. I don't know what this guy is doing, but it isn't quick and it isn't working, and it's going to end in tears if he's not careful. Andretti's now looking at being lapped by Alonso, who is 16th. This has been tragic for Excelsior, sitting last and last but one. So Alonso has finally made it past that group, and he has got 6 seconds to find before he can have a go at Senna, who he was behind a lot early in this race until he had a half spin, and he didn't lose that much time, but he ended up stuck behind so many slower back markers that, he's not had the pace of the team who is, 2nd in the road and in the race. It really has been disastrous. Button is just flexing now, 123.0. He's pulling away. Somebody's had a spin. I think it's one of the back markers. I think that might have been Gurney. Has he had a go at Frentzen, or has he just lost it on his own? So he's coming down. He's up the inside of Frentzen here. He's thought about it. No. I think they've actually both had a slide. Yeah, so Frentzen's lost it on the curb, and Gurney's also lost it on the curb. When you're lapped down and you've got, what's that, 3rd place bearing down, 4th place bearing down you, that's really not what you want to be seeing. So here's Fangio. Brundle is getting close. He's going to think about it in turn 1. He sends it, but Fangio's going to leave the space and just show him the outside line. Brundle, once again, he's not quick in the right places to get the move done. So that's Clark and Villeneuve having a ding-dong, but not getting anywhere. Alonso has brought the gap down to 3 seconds already. He is absolutely flying. Here's Heidfeld now. Heidfeld in 17th is now going to lap Andretti. I mean, the only kind of good... I think Heidfeld just punted Andretti at the first corner. Let's see that. So he's in the middle of the road. Oh no, he's actually just lost it. I'll give that to him in that he wasn't punted behind. But so sorry, Nick, for thinking that you had punted him round. And in fact, that squarely goes in Andretti's face. And his blame, why you losing it in front of cars that are lapping you. So, Brundle is in 6th place, he's in 7th place, so it's Fangio in 6th that he's trying to deal with. Can he do it into the final corner? He's had another look. Fangio just turns in on him again. Brundle is just finding everybody turning in on him at that corner. And then he's having to go up the inside into turn 1 again, but unless you can make it stick and get to the inside of turn 2, it's not going to help you. And in fact, Barthez is catching this group up, and he could get involved and start ruining it for Brundle. Because in all of this, Fangio is now 3 seconds behind Hoy, so Hoy is using this opportunity to disappear and start to chase up to the Vries. Verstappen out, as we have another yellow flag at the final corner. Somebody in this group has had a big slide. Hamilton's got past Perez into the hairpin. Perez has come back at Hamilton. And oh, they actually found, who's that? It's Heidfeld having another spin for himself. So he's nowhere near his group until he spins and basically parks it on the racing line on the exit, and everyone else is like, ugh, what are we supposed to do now? The Falcons now happily sat 14th and 15th. Watson's 13th with Clark 12th and Villeneuve 11th. De Angelis is 10th, Hackman 9th, Barthez 8th. Brundle has finally got past Fangio while I wasn't paying attention, and oh, that's a bit cheeky. That's a bit cheeky, but he's done it into turn 6. So having said basically 2 laps ago that's not an overtaking spot, Brundle has thought, oh no, I'm just gonna touring car punt Fangio out of the way. Fangio has tried to fight back, but Brundle had the better line, the better power, and the grippier car, and in the end has got ahead. So, a 3-second gap to Hoy. Can he bring that down? And what can Barthez do? Can he catch up, or will he see a chance to go quick and screw it up at the chicane? Who knows? Nobody really knows, but Button has finally decided to put his foot down and increase the gap at the front to 7.5 seconds. Rossi is falling away, but he's still got 6 seconds to Verstappen, who's another 11 ahead. Because I think that's Fangio now. Fangio is the latest driver to lose a load of time at the chicane. Ahead of Barthez. So, yeah, too much speed. Oh, and he's actually hit the wall, but he hasn't taken any damage and he's got it going. So now what can Barthez do, and what can Hakkinen do actually? Can Hakkinen capitalise on this? Is Barthez going to send it up the inside of Fangio? Well, he's going to try to, but Fangio's got the inside line, and I think Hakkinen's going to take the opportunity. He has. Barthez is dropping back. Can De Angelis get through? No, he can't quite as Barthez shots in front. Fangio has sent Barthez back another position, even further away from the podium. So this is not looking like a good race for DTK at the moment, although the last race wasn't until the end, as Andretti had a half spin. He's been lapped by, well, that's Schumacher, so that's the top 20 are now past Andretti. This has been an unmitigated disaster. Button now puts another fastest lap in, as actually I think he's already getting close to lapping, as Fangio's been shuffled down the order again, this time by Hakkinen, as I think Martin Brundle has lost his front wing. He has. Brundle for Harvey Racing has lost his front wing in contact with Gurney and a spin into the wall. That is not what the second place finisher from the last round really needed. They said it was a Gurney. See, I'm placing that squarely in Brundle's. That's Brundle's fault. He knows where Gurney is. Gurney's left him space, but Brundle has turned in for the racing line when he really didn't need to. He knew where that Excelsior was going to be. So Martin Brundle has self-inflicted himself front wing damage, and well, we've got a mess now as there's contact between Hackman and Fangio, so they're all going about 4 wide here trying to get past Brundle. If Bottas pulls in front of Brundle, he's going to have to lose a load of time, as it's De Angelis is having a try to have a go. Brundle's had to carry on another lap because he was being blocked. He's going to lose him all the time, as De Angelis suddenly found himself up in 7th and challenging Bartes for 6th. De Angelis up the inside as Bartes breaks and blocks him. Fangio up the inside because De Angelis has gone out wide. Fangio up to 7th, Bartes up to 6th. De Angelis takes 8th, Hackman's now 9th. Jim Clark up to 10th and Villeneuve 11th, and Brundle now having to do another lap without a front wing. This has not gone well for him at all, as Watson's going to capitalise and actually get squeezed by Brundle into turn 5. That is not the place you want to be squeezed at all. Head back as Jenson Button has now put a lap on Michael Schumacher. So Schumacher, the first driver who hasn't pitted to go a lap down, is only lap 18. That is quite scary, how quick he's got. So he's battling here now for 6th, with Brundle having thrown it all away. Bartes leads the quintet, sextet, I don't know, the amount of cars following him. I don't think anyone's really close here to make a move this lap, unless someone screws up over the chicane. But Alain Prost here is looking to overtake Brundle, and he does that. He's going to park it in front, and Brundle's having to hit the brakes to avoid running into the back of the Falcon. As I think, yes, Clark and Hackman have got closer at turn 1. So Clark's actually got a really good exit out the final corner and is sending it up the inside of Hackman into turn 1. It's a good move, he's had a thought about it. He's got ahead into turn 2, but he's on the outside line, which isn't helping, and Villeneuve is now going to join in the fun, but no, Villeneuve has to get out the throttle. Bond makes a stop, and Senna's the latest driver to have a spin at the final chicane, which has allowed Alonso through. So role reversal this time, as Alonso's actually not the one who's lost all the time. They've got close. Yeah, he's gone around fully, he's hit the wall, but he hasn't taken any damage, he's got it going again. So well done to Senna, and well done to Alonso to finally getting through. It's back up the front. Button, having decided to put the hammer down, is now 10 seconds ahead of Rossi. So we start lap 19. So Button, pole sitter, is where we started. Rossi, who started second, is also where he was, 10 seconds behind the leader. Verstappen from third on the grid, same place as Nick de Vries, has made up 4 positions from where he started to take 4th place, 10 seconds behind his teammate. So another 10 seconds to Chris Hoy, who's up 1. PTK and Bartes, who's down 2, but has had an eventful run here to 6th place. Having been one of the larger drivers affected by this final chicane. I'm just watching him through here, make sure he can do it fine. As soon as I say that, he throws it away. His Fangio also goes round. De Angelis manages to capitalise, and they're both going to lose a load of time. So Bartes and Fangio both get a big slide. De Angelis is up to 6th, as Hackman, now in 9th, wasn't really able to make up. They all lost a load of time, then De Angelis is the only one who's capitalised. So De Angelis now up to 6th, up 4 places from his grid slot. Bartes now down 3 after his 4th or 5th slide at the chicane. I've lost count already. Fangio's down 3 to 8th. With Mika Hakkinen 9th up 2, Gilles Villeneuve up 3 in 10th, and Jim Clark down 2 in 11th. Watson is where he started, with Prost up to 13th, so well done here for Falcon, and Alonso finally up 7 to 14th, but he should be a lot further up than he is. Senna, the last driver in the points at the moment, is down 1, with Hamilton up 8 places to 16th for Chaos Racing. He's kind of kept it clean, which has really been helpful. Heidfeld now in 18th. He had a really good start, got up to 12th, but he's, like Barthez, he's been throwing it away at the chicane, and it's now getting in the way of Jenson Button. This Button goes through, and Button's teammate Brundle, who's made his first pit stop to change the front wing, and he's now going to be out of sequence. But both Heidfeld's got past Perez and all that. As Brundle's now trying to get past as Ide is also trying to join in the fun here. So Brundle is completely out of sequence with these cars. He's got so much more power and grip than everyone. He's a better driver himself. As he's actually just pushing Perez into the hairpin to try and get him past Heidfeld, and he's done that. So a bit cheeky, but it's worked, I suppose. Andretti now without a front wing. Where's he done that? Final chicanes, he had a spin there. Is he? Yeah, okay, so Andretti has lost his front wing at the final chicane again. Is it self-inflicted? Yep, there was no help in that. So Andretti's now going to get out of the way and let this group, well, he's let Barthez through, completely blocked Fangio. I don't know what he's doing. So DeAndres and Barthez have got a gap. Fangio has got through Hackman finally. Oh, and Watson has just carved through as Villeneuve and Clark have got stuck behind the Excelsior, who I will say did get out of the way there, and they just went the wrong way. It's getting odder and odder, so even with all the space to get blue flagged, they still can't do it. Incredible. So yeah, we fly back. Andretti's going to have to change the front wing again. He's already 2 laps down. He's probably going to go 3 laps down. Could not. No, at least he's still going. That's the only thing, really. The only smidgen of hope they've got is that there's a massive dearth of squeaky bum time later in this race. Going back towards this battle here. So, that was Barthez has just crashed into Gurney. Gurney has just, what's he done? Has he parked it on the apex or something? But Barthez has definitely clobbered him into turn 3. So DeAndres gets through quite well, and he just, yeah, the Gurney has just slowed down and parked on the apex, but Barthez kind of, he shouldn't have turned in at the car that you can see was there. I would try to go around the outside and waited out the chicane. He was trying to not lose time, but that's not the way you do it. Gurney has let everyone else through relatively painlessly. It's only relative, as I think that's Fernando Alonso. Alonso, as Schumacher joins in, there's a wheel rolling. Alonso is out the race. Fernando Alonso first retirement, so he's putting the lap on Andretti. Hits the curb, loses the rear. Oh, big slide. Big hit, and the horrible day for the Siggy Pop driver has just got even worse. It's a bang! That's a massive hit. He has at least had the sense to pull out of the way, but man, that's a big hit. I've just got an on board with him. He's turned in at the wrong angle, too much curb lost to it. He's caught, and that's what's made it worse. The rear is suddenly gripped up as he's turned in, and it's just spun him round. Bang! Off comes the rear wheel, and out he goes. It's a true shame. A Schumacher now spins off, and he's going to rejoin in front of De Vries. He just about lets him through. So, disaster for Sticky Pop. But that's what I was saying about Excelsior needing squeaky bum time to start taking apart other drivers. So all the fun trying to watch him come through the pack is just gone. Now some back markers here are just holding up Rossi. That is Heidfeld and Perez. Perez gets out of the way to allow Heidfeld through. All of this is allowing Verstappen to close right up behind the City Pop. Hydro kind of parks it a bit, but Verstappen gets through as Perez is now holding up Rossi. This is where we're going to start seeing a battle for second place, I think. Rossi's gap to the leader is insurmountable. I think Button is going to have to find a tragedy like Brundle had, or Alonso had, if he's going to lose this win at the moment. It is monumental how far ahead he's got. Already 22 laps in, he's lapping everyone he can think of. Although Perez has held up Verstappen a little bit, but not anymore. So 1.5 seconds separates second and third here. Something to look forward to as Hoy comes into final chicane. We've got a yellow flag because Schumacher has had another spin, and that's 2 laps in a row actually. He's spun and then tried to drive into a leader as he rejoins the track. We should pay attention to him. So DeAngelis has managed to break away. He had a massive slide. Barthez is now closing back up in all this. And Fangio stuck with them as they're just Hacken's falling away off the head of Clark and Dillon over there. And Prost is getting closer actually. That's surprising. Hamilton now 15th, so lap 22, and already one of the point scoring positions is going to be a lap down. I knew Button was quick, but even on the short circuit, I was not expecting it to take that little time to put a lap on everyone. Actually, Andretti still hasn't unlapped himself on Alonso. Button's now 57-second lead as he just basically pushes Senna out the way as he gets around 14th. So Rossi is 29. Oh no, Verstappen was ever so slightly faster that lap. So it's close for second, but it's steady, I'd say, at the moment. We're looking quite happy with the final chicane for the moment. So Hakkinen is really falling behind the Fangio Barthez. We've got another yellow flag. Is that going to be Schumacher again? So if we go through, it is Schumacher again, and he's now held up Barthez. So 3 laps in a row. 3 laps in a row. Michael Schumacher has spun into the wall of champions. Yeah, this time he's at least taken his front wing off, so well done. But he just wants to visit for every F1 World Championship he's got. You know, 3 consecutive laps to hit the same wall. You'd think by now you'd learnt what you're doing. I mean, he obviously hasn't, because he's just blocking Watson like nobody's business in turn 2. Clark and Villeneuve also find themselves completely balked by the German. All of this is allowing Prost to get closer, and Prost has got no pace compared to these guys. But they're just losing so much time behind everybody else, as Prost also loses so much time behind Schumacher. That, well, can't really do much. Ide is about to be lapped, and he's pulling out the way to allow looks like De Vries through. It is De Vries. So Button's 15-second lead now, Rossi, and Verstappen is sticking to 2 seconds behind, as I think that was Villeneuve making a move on Jim Clark. It was. Into the hairpin. So Villeneuve's got a decent exit. Yes, Clark's had a bad exit out that chicane, as you can see. We head up into the hairpin, down the inside. Big, bold move on the brakes. And out he comes flying. Brilliant move from Villeneuve. And he makes up the position up into 11th place. So, Button heading away. pulling another lead, and seeing as it's all just starting to spread out a little bit for the moment, as Schumacher finally makes it into the pits. Let's watch Button slide through the final corner. Let's just enjoy an onboard lap with the race leader, who is comfortably leading and comfortably ahead and just super quick. So into turn 1, you got to kind of take a tight line through 1 to open up turn 2, because you want a nice big exit up over the brow around this curve straight into the turn 3-4 chicane. Take a lot of curb in the first bit, not as much in the second, and get a winding exit. Turn 5 should be flat out. It is, but you've got to get it on the right again for the turn 6 corner. It's kind of wide chicane, you want to use the curb, but it will unsettle everything as we head through final corner. As I think that is Andretti having another speed as Button's fuel has, yeah, we'll just find Andretti's. I think Andretti is out. He has finally bitten the bullet and decided, screw this, my car is too dead, I don't want this anymore. Yet he's lost the rear and he's backed in and finally taken the wheel off as Hoy almost joins in the accident. But Andretti finds the sense to pull out the way and ending his day in the wall. We'll head back to Button, so we've missed that chicane, but we'll head up into the hairpin at the top. On the brakes, nice and early, get it turned in, and get the power down for a big exit. Watch out for a little kink of curb on the way out. As you head down, just down, it suddenly flattens out. There's a little kink, and then you're flying down the back straight into the big Wall of Champions chicane. Also the yellow flag out because Andretti's just hit the wall. The rear wing's still on the right. Makes it through a bit of curb, not too much, to avoid unsettling the back, and that is a bit of a disturbed lap of the Circuit Shield Builder. Chris Hoy, DTK Racing, is pitting this lap. Nick Hacken for 2KF1 is pitting, as Fabian Barthez has lost a place. I think he's also had a moment at the final chicane then. Yes, he has. So he's lost it, got a sideways. Fangio's also got lost it, just basically shoved Barthez out the way. Synchronised sliding, and Fangio has sideswiped Barthez out the way. Hackman coming in, Hoy coming in, De Vries overtaking Schumacher into the final chicane, unlapping himself. Putting the lap on, I mean. Rossi's coming in this lap. Well, Rossi's coming in. Hoy makes it into the pit lane. Hakkinen is going to make it. Barthez is getting a bit low. Villeneuve's coming in this lap. So we are in the pit phase. Hamilton is down to 16th actually. Hamilton's lost his place in the points to Martin Brundle. Of course, he's already made a stop to place his front wing. Lost a load of time without it. And he's trying to get past Senna in 14th place. Frentzen is in the wall. Frentzen's our next retirement. I think that is. So Frentzen is he must have also lost on the curbs. He has, and he backs in and takes out another wheel. They've all seen yellow flags. They're all mentioned to avoid him. But Heinz told Frentzen is our latest retirement, so they're all starting to fall away thick and fast now. So Hoy's exited in 6th place. DeAngelis actually... No, don't worry. A little bit lost. Fangio 7th and Barthez is coming in this lap as well. Watson, Hakkinen in the pits, Villeneuve in the pits. Brundle has made it past Senna. Hamilton comes in. Heidfeld is coming in this lap as well. So Button had low fuel for a while, but he decided that this is the lap to come in. So our race leader, Verstappen, has got past Rossi because Rossi has come into the pits. De Vries is going on another lap, which means Verstappen will come in this lap, so De Vries obviously has to do another lap. So he exits the pits. As Fangio looks like he's coming in, and Barthez. He exits the pits, and Schumacher is the last driver running. Now 2 laps down on the leaders, although he's made a pitch to change front wing, definitely. So Fangio makes it to the pit lane. Barthez Verstappen makes it to the pit lane. Watson makes it to the pit lane. De Angelis is coming in this lap. Verstappen will come in. Button, he's going down to the back straight. We'll just follow him and see a nice simple pit stop for the lead. Will he actually manage to lose the lead to De Vries? I don't think so. I don't think the pit lane losses will be that much. Verstappen, he's also going to come flying in this lap. De Vries is going to have to make it another lap. So here's Rossi. He's got no chance of getting past Button here. De Angelis taking 5th, and he's going to come in this lap. As our Clark and Prost is up to 8th. Now, of course, he is out of tune or everything. As Hakkinen has managed to jump Bartes in the pit stops. Managed to jump Bartes, but not got past Fangio. So well done to the 2KF1 pit crew. Good move from them. So has Rossi managed to jump Verstappen, or no, sorry, Verstappen has managed to jump Rossi, putting himself up into a net second there. Good driving there from NLE. Good pit work as the overcut has worked. Rossi's obviously found time, lost out with back markers after having made his pit stop. So Verstappen takes a net second here. As De Vries is now 6 seconds behind Button, but Button's made his pit stop and De Vries is coming in this lap. De Angelis, he's making his stop now as Clark and Prost are in. And Hakkinen and Bartes stream to the final corner. Head down the start straight. Hakkinen has a think about it, but he's not really close enough to make any sort of move. So Hoy has made quite a bit of a leap over under De Angelis and all that. De Angelis has also kept his big gap over Fangio. So Brundle, after all this, has made himself up into 11th and is probably in sequence with everybody else. They've all got to make one more stop, although Brundle's will be a lot earlier. But everyone usually makes their final stop with not much time left in the race anyway, so Brundle might have to have a slightly longer stop for more fuel, but he shouldn't be too far off everybody else. Watson now has got Clark for company. Clark is thinking about a move, but he's not quite going to make it. Senna here in 14 is our next to make a pit stop. There he's going to come through. This is all still. We've got 21 cars still in this race, so we've lost 3 drivers, all of which have had big accidents at the final corner, those being Fernando Alonso, Mario Andretti and Heinz-Harald Frentzen. Schumacher is now 2 laps down, and is about to be lapped again by Nick De Vries. It's Gurney. I think Gurney's lost his rear wing there, and has got come out in front of a load of some of the mid-pack, the leaders, as he's actually been rammed into by De Angelis. Oh, that's not what I was expecting to see. So Gurney has just been hit by De Angelis, and now he's in the brakes to let all the leaders through, and that's ruined it for Hakkinen. So Gurney, is he putting over to retire maybe? Don't think so. But in all that, so De Angelis is now going to come in for a new front wing. Fangio has managed to jump past Bartes. Bartes has got past Hakkinen. And this is going to provide them all up in 6th, 7th, 8th. There's actually, Fangio has a look at getting past De Angelis into turn 3. That wasn't going to happen. Bartes is now thinking, right, where can I get past Fangio and all this? So Bartes is now sporting a newly reshaped nose cone after that little punterino. Fangio comes flying up turn 7. Bartes is now having a look. As actually De Angelis has managed to block Hakkinen, and Villeneuve they've done a really good job for his teammate there. Villeneuve's got past Hakkinen, so Villeneuve up to 9th. He's now going to get past De Angelis quite easily, so it's worked out really well for Bavera. Hakkinen's having another look back into the hairpin, and Hakkinen's up the inside and he's got through. The Fangio's heading towards, I think that Sergio Perez might have had to spin the final corner. All this. Fangio has now got a lead over Barthez, which is pretty close. Just follow that. But Hakkinen is now to defend from Villeneuve. The side by side is Villeneuve up, but inside takes a massive amount of curb to try and deal with that. Barthez is thinking about a look at Fangio, but it's not quite going to work this lap. Hakkinen's got ahead of Villeneuve. Villeneuve now under pressure from Brundle, but Villeneuve keeps the inside line for turn 2, which is the crucial bit of track positioning that we've seen you need to have. As De Angelis finally makes it into the pits. But that's lap 30, he's not going to have enough fuel for the end. He's going to have to stop again. That is painful for Bavera, unfortunately. We have a quick back look at the front. So Jenson Button now has an 18-second over Max Verstappen. He has 2 seconds to Rossi. So it's 2 seconds between them again, but this time it's Verstappen ahead of Rossi. How is that going to be when we have the next round of pit stops? De Vries is fourth, so second and fourth for NLE Motorsport. Probably not. Well, they've got low downforce, which is probably helping, but seeing how quick the Harvey up ahead is going, maybe they do need better downforce for this track. Chris Hoy is fifth. He's kind of in a bit of no man's land. It's 30 seconds back to Fangio in sixth. Got Barthez helping there. There's Villeneuve and Hakkinen now side by side in the final chicane again. All of this is allowing Martin Brundle to get close. What's he thinking? What can he do? Brundle now goes for the inside line. Actually, he's straight past Villeneuve. Down the front straight. And it's got ahead. So Brundle makes the overtake on Villeneuve up into 9th place for Harvey Racing even. Now Hakkinen's thinking, oh, there's a purple thing behind me. What am I going to do? Because he's going to disappear if I don't do anything correctly. Fangio's made a little break there on Barthez. He's just got ahead of him. Schumacher now, he's 2 laps down. He's had a few spins at the final chicane, but he's kept it going for the moment. We'll sit with him here, see if he can make it. That's really something we watched for a while. Can Schumacher make it around the final chicane without spinning? I had to think about it, but kept going. Now sitting here as Brundle's got right up behind Hakkinen. He's got the power advantage. There's 0.13 tons horsepower difference between the two. At the same downforce, but Hakkinen just placing his car in the right place to hold the Harvey back, but the power advantage is too big. Saying that, Brundle's early on the brakes. And that's Clark having a look at Watson as well, so they're both 2 KF1s in danger. And I think Barthez might have had a slide through the chicane. That might have put a yellow flag out, which is why Brundle lifted off. Yeah, Barthez had a big slide. He's kept it going. I think that's been enough, yes, for Hakkinen to keep Brundle behind for another lap. But I don't think it's going to be long before the Harvey is through. Because that car is quick. That car is super quick. It's Button, he's just lapped Jim Clark for 12th place. So Button is flying here. He is catching up to, well, the group that's involved is the 6th place. You know, it won't be long and Button might be lapping his championship rival and the championship leader, Fabian Barthez. Which, you know, lap 33, it's devastating. I mean, even to do it on lap 70 out of 71 is enough of a, you know, insult, but, you know, he could do it before half distance. Not quite, okay, maybe that's a bit optimistic, but, you know, before the second pit stop, Fabian Barthez could be a lap down. That really would be rubbing salt into the wounds here. That's just Watson is behind, so Brundle now having another look at Hakkinen. He's pulling to the inside into the chicane, but it's probably too late again. It is too late again. As Villeneuve has actually got a terrible exit there, so I'm not even going to bother watching. Brundle is now thinking about it on Hakkinen. He's going to... He can't really launch it down the inside because he knows he's just going to be shown the outside line for turn 2. Which is not what anybody wants, because you just lose everything. So Rossi is now lost probably another second to Verstappen in the last time we looked.
The caution flag is out.
Another yellow flag at the end of the lap. He's just gone round. Unfortunately, I missed who it was that was in the area that involved the spin, so bear with me. Oh, that looks like a Falcon. It was Senna. So Senna now has had a bit of a spin at the final chicane. He's clocked the wall, but he's kept it going, as in fact DeAngelis has had a sympathy crash in the background and has lost his front wing again. Elio DeAngelis for Bravura Automotive, a team who to this day has not won any sponsor money, and they need a double top 10 and Dan's 16th and needing another pit stop on top of still needing to pit for fuel again. This is not looking good. They need the squeakiest of squeaky bum times for everybody else to get their sponsor. And look at this, Villeneuve has not had any issues and he's only just in the top 10. So Bravura, they were looking odds-on favourites for the title on the way into race 1. You know, they were super strong, but wrong choice of sponsor? I don't think so. They were after pole position and came second in both those races, which is so close yet so far. And it's, well, ruined it, to be honest, for them. Here we go, Brundle having another look at Hakkinen, but Villeneuve has gone, I'll take that position back, thank you very much. Some brilliant run there. So there you go, so Brundle's actually decided not to overtake into the final chicane, which has given him a chance to get a run into turn 1. He's gone for it, but Hakkenen's just shown him the outside of turn 2, and Villeneuve has thought, yes please, I'll take that, thank you very much. And I'm just going to hold you here so you get lapped by your teammate again. Because of yes, before the pit stops, Brundle did get lapped by Button, but Brundle has losing so much time in this Hakkinen Villeneuve fight that Button is about to lap him. And all this Lampard Festival 5 seconds on Hakkinen. So that's all useful for keeping Button at bay for a little bit. But here we go. Both of them, Brundle and Villeneuve, been shown blue flags. Brundle's got out of the way as soon as he can. And has just lost so much time there actually. That said, Button's not doing everything to get past Villeneuve. And all this is allowing Hakkinen to escape. So Villeneuve, is he going to lift off to let Button through into the final chicane? Might do, yes he does, and looks like he wanted to turn in on him, but okay. So Hakkenen's now got 4 seconds on Villeneuve, so both of these drivers have lost so much time with Button there. They both got the blue flag at the same time, they both lifted off at the same time, but Button only lapped one of them. And now this has put Brundle on Villeneuve, and without somebody behind them to kind of capitalise, I think Brundle's going to get through pretty quickly. Barthez has managed to put a back marker as well. That's DeAngelis between him and Hakkinen and Button, so it's going to delay the almost inevitable lapping a little bit longer, which is what he really wants. Here's a battle we want to see. Hamilton versus Senna into turn 1. This is a little bit of contact between them. This is for honour between the two new teams, Team Cass and Falcon Motorsport. Cass Racing of course started 23rd and 24th, like absolute back of the grid, but they've kept their noses clean so far, and it's worked out. Schumacher once again is useless through the final corner. He's about to be lapped by his teammate. I don't know what it's gone. We've actually got a full-on yellow flag here. Who's got going? It's Hakkinen. Has Jenson Button had a spin? Was that Button? Has Button had a spin at the final chicane? No, Hakkinen's had a spin and Button has lost all the time trying to deal with it. Has he? Or something else? No. Oh no, DeAngelis has had the spin. Hakkinen and Button have braked to avoid it all. And this has allowed Villeneuve and Brundle to join in the fun. We've now got 5 cars, all of which are trying to work out who should lap who. As they're all trying to lap DeAngelis, Button's actually somehow managed to get himself through that unscathed. Don't know how, but he has. Hakkinen has now got DeAngelis holding up his teammate, which is allowing Brundle to get close. DeAngelis lets him through into the middle of turn 5. That was all a bit messy. Verstappen, the Button is... Oh, Buttons goes around the outside of Schumacher in a really awkward place as the gap's down to 18 seconds between leaders. It's not really much difference, is it? Hakkinen now is having a run at Schumacher. Brundle is still sat there going, oh come on guys, I'm quicker than you, please can I just come through? As they're all losing a load of time with Schumacher there. Barthez has been a big slide to the chicane, which is, he's seen in the mirrors. He's seen in the mirrors that the champion, the race leader that is driving the championship is coming up behind to lap him. Barthez is shook. He is shook F. Barthez is not going to enjoy this, having to get out the way of Barthez. We have a spin at the final corner. Jenson Button laps his championship rival. Wow. And it's not even that long into the race. It's who's gone around here? Is that Schumacher again? Where is he? Yep, Schumacher has had a spin at the final corner again. Yeah. If you've reached this point and you feel like it's worth it and you've got the time, can you please go back to the start of this and just like create a tally of like everyone who's had a spin at the final chicane and work out, you know, who's done the most. I'll put a post in there. I'll put it in the description or something, but this is the Wall of Champions Spin Grand Prix. They've all just been mental through there. It's been utterly insane. I think actually with so many cars a lap behind, I'm going to have to change it from the standings gap to, yeah, the car in front of them, because otherwise I've got no chance of knowing what's going on further down. I'm trying to work out, you know. Okay, so this is actually, so we're running gaps to, okay, it's not ideal, but this is the gap to everyone around them. So if we're focused, for example, on Elio DeAngelis here, we see that going is 44 seconds behind him and Perez is 16 ahead of him. You know, this is about a lap around. We'll see how this goes. But the Hakkinen, Villeneuve, Brundle trio is still in that order, and they've caught up to Barthez. So Barthez is now got to get past Perez. He's getting caught by this lot. Up the inside of Perez, he's got through at a good place because it's held up Hakkinen. Villeneuve's thinking, right, can I capitalise on all this? And Brundle's thinking now, can I capitalise on all this? As he sends it up the inside of Villeneuve. Really bold dive. Villeneuve's got caught up behind Perez. So I think unless Brundle throws it away at the next chicane, that is position got and done. And good opportunistic move. Now, Brundle is going to try against Hackman again. He's actually passed Hackman into the braking point. Pulls in front. Brundle's through. As Barthez had another spin at the chicane, which has let Brundle through on Hackman. So actually, in about 3 corners, yeah, he's hit a front wing. That. I bet I'm going to see Michael Schumacher without front wing. Yeah, I knew it. Schumacher has crashed there again. I mean, this guy is more on number 1, I think. But yes, having been 10th into the hairpin, Brundle is now 7th. Who'd have thunk it? So Hamilton has disposed of Senna and is now flying away in 14th. He's trying to catch up to Prost, who is the leading new team. De Angelis has just been lapped there by Rossi. So Button's lead is now 22 seconds as we have another driver having some problems at the final chicane. This time I think it was Senna again. Into the chicane, blip bloop blop, and didn't clock the wall. So that's an improvement, I suppose. Not much of an improvement, but you take what you can as Schumacher makes his umpteenth pit stop for a front wing. How many front wings is he going to have gone through by the end of this race if he makes it that far? Who knows? Place your bets. Anybody got a guess? Put it in the comment section. Why not? Have some fun. So the gap actually between Verstappen and Rossi for second place even is approaching 10 seconds. Rossi has lost a load of time, and actually De Vries is nearly closer to Rossi than he is to Verstappen. Hoyer is quite happily trundling around in 5th. Fangio has now got a 12-second gap to Brundle. They've lost so much time squabbling. As Barthez has found himself in 10th now. He must be having more problems at that chicane. He is not having a good day. This is not the day of a championship leader, but at least he's still running and at least he's still in the points, which, you know, can't be said for others at the moment. But it's a long race, still quite a lot to go as Prost laps De Angelis and pushes him out of the way. Schumacher is a lap behind Gurney and is about to go another lap down. In fact, I think he's about 4 laps down on the leaders now, which is ridiculous. Truly unbelievable what's happening here. As Jenson Button's lead is just extending and extending. So it's actually Villeneuve on Hackman now. Gilles Villeneuve had a look at Hackman, but they're both a bit sideways as Barthez crashes at the final corner again. He's trying to battle Schumacher here for the most moronic attempts at the final chicane, and it's certainly working. At least he's still running and hasn't lost his front wing yet, but it's coming. I think it's gonna happen at some point. Barthez cannot. He just can't keep it going like this for this long. He's gonna make a mistake and end it at some point. So now the gap to Verstappen has come down to 5 seconds, so obviously his gap was all dependent on that traffic. Verstappen has lost a lot, where Rossi hasn't. De Vries, admittedly, is the same gap behind, so I think Verstappen's just found some lap traffic or had a spin the final corner or something that's lost him as Button has just rammed into the back of 6th place Fangio at the final chicane. How neither of them have spun or damaged their front wings, I don't know. So Fangio's kind of trying to get out of the way, but that's a really bad place to do it. I, I don't even know what to say about that. That was complete idiocy from the Argentinian, but they're both still going. Fangio finally lets Button through, but that could have very easily ended in tears. That said, I have the feeling Button could still pit, change his front wing, and come out in, well, definitely be third at worst, I think. And it wouldn't take him long to get up into first, put it that way. So we have another crash at the final corner, as that was, hang on, I think that was John Watson. It was Watson. So Watson now is the latest driver to have a crash at the final corner. This time he's lost his front wing. Has he joined in on somebody else's accident? Oh, yep, no, he's joined in on Schumacher. Right, so Michael Schumacher's spun, and Watson is like, he comes in here and he's just like, oh no. But yeah, Schumacher on the curve completely loses it. Watson's like, that's where I'm pointing, please get out my way. No, Watson's lost it. He's trying to save the slide, but just sends him bang into Schumacher. As the Bangalore team are now thinking, oh, how many more front wings do we have to give to this guy? Do we have any left? DeAngelis is just rammed Schumacher off the road. I think that's the best thing anybody's actually done this race, trying to tell Schumacher, just get out of it. You're a lap behind everyone. You're about 5, look, you're on lap 40, the leader's on lap 44. Get off the racetrack, please. That's lost De Vries a massive time. Barthez is 11th now. Prost is getting unlapped by DeAngelis because Watson's holding him up so much. Button, meanwhile, has just done a 1:22.7, set another fastest lap. He's quite serenely disappearing up the front. Verstappen now has put a lap on Barthez, I think that is. It is. And Rossi gets a bit of a slide to the final corner, but he's kept it going quite nicely. De Vries is now 15 seconds behind, having lost so much time in all that mess. I think Perez might have just had a spin at the final chicane. He's had a bit of a slide, but not too bad. Put it this way, it's nowhere near the levels of incompetence of his teammate. DeAngelis here now is stuck behind Watson, which has allowed Hoy to lap them both, which I suppose is something. But it's really not a recovery drive. Alain Prost here, he's doing quite well, he's up to 12th. Prost, one of only 2 drivers in this championship who hasn't yet scored a point. He of course got Phantom stuck in second gear in Donington, and last race didn't go too well either. He was just completely off the pace. But he's the fastest of the new team so far, and he's kept out of trouble. He's showing some decent pace. He's 12 seconds ahead of Hamilton, who in turn is 8 seconds ahead of Senna. As Watson now exits the pits out the points, not gone well for him at all. Villeneuve and Hakkinen now side by side. Into the final chicane, they've come out of it. Villeneuve's having a look at Hakkinen, but Hakkinen's going to take the racing line and Villeneuve has to get out the throttle. Can't get through there. So Brundle is actually caught right up to Fangio here as they're stuck behind Schumacher. Brundle, who is going to have to pit in a second because he's caught out of sequence and everyone. He should be able to put enough fuel to make it to the end, but you know, it could all go wrong. He should be fine. He should be absolutely fine to make it to the end from here. Can he get past Fangio before that moment? And Fangio's lost quite a bit of time with back markers and spins and Barthez. So he's thinking about it. He's not going to go into the final chicane at the moment. Von Happen even. And can he get past quickly? Or will it be the absolute mess he had with Hakkinen? Well, it's looking like it's quite simple. He's blasted up the inside there. He's got the inside line. But Fangio outbrakes him. Good job. And this is going to be frustrating as it was with Hakkinen, because Hakkinen kept doing that to him. But here we go. Brundle, he's taking the outside line of turn, which become the inside line of turn 2. He's been shoved out there so many times. Brundle has finally managed to be proactive. He's got what he needed. He's ahead of Fangio before the pit window. Good driving. Frost now has got to go that down to Chris Hoy. And head back to the pack, back up to the front. His Button is now catching up to Heidfeld for another lap, so that's 2 laps down for the last point scorer at the moment. Dan Gurney in 20th is going to go his 3rd lap down. And Verstappen's 5-second gap to Rossi is stabilised for the moment. Hacken's gap to Villeneuve is close, but don't think it's going to end in a pass at the moment. Well, Brevero does have more power, so it should be able to close up by the end of this straight. We'll see though. Last down towards the final chicane in the Wall of Champions, or Schumacher and Bartez's wall. Villeneuve up the inside, Hackman on the outside line's got a better turn in. Villeneuve has to take a lot of the curb, but Schumacher parks it on the apex and ruins that for everybody. Absolutely ruins that, as Villeneuve lost all the time. I don't even think he made a mistake, he just saw the blue flag. Oh no, 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 I don't know what I was saying. Of course Schumacher spun at the chicane and ruined it for everybody. Good job, good job. 26 seconds now is the lead. As Fangio, I think he's just had a bit of a slide there. It's turn 3, it didn't look like the nicest of corners. Ooh, yes, big twitch on the way in that braking zone. Don't know what he's done. Ooh, it's... Well, he's kept it going. He's kept it going, which I suppose is nice. As Brundle there exits the pits in 11th place. He's now behind Barthez, but he should be fueled and tied to the end. So, can he release some extraordinary pace to catch up, get ahead of everyone, and potentially catch up to... I should be able to get Fangio 6th, but Hoy I think is going to be too far. It's actually Barthez has found... I know he's had to be lapped by Rossi, and he's stuck behind Schumacher. Schumacher just blocks them both again as Brundle finds himself in completely the wrong place, allowing Barthez to get back up into 10th and pull away from Brundle just a little bit. 2.5 seconds down is the gap. Could have been an overtake. And another serene drive. He's now almost 30 seconds ahead of Verstappen. Rossi a further 10 seconds back now, that's a lot. So I think we'll just do a quick race run through. So Jenson Button currently leading the race, heading towards the start of lap 50 when he finishes this lap. 28-second lead. Up also to Max Verstappen, who started 3rd and has jumped 2nd place Valentino Rossi in the pit stops. So Rossi is now 8 seconds back in 3rd place. De Vries up 4 places from his grid slot, is comfortably here at 4th. He's avoided all the carnage in the beginning and allowed his pace to pull him away. Hoy 5th, up another place from his grid slot. Again, has just avoided the carnage, the chaos of all the battling, to just pull away, and his top 5 are kind of, they're all on their own, nowhere near anyone. 6th place is Fangio. He is currently in a battle with Brundle when it comes to his pit stop, although it's going to take like back markers ruining Brundle's day, I think, for Fangio to stay ahead. Mecca Hackman up 4 places to 7th, 2 careful on race. It's been a pretty good race for him. He's kept it out of too much trouble. I've spent most of the race defending for everybody else. So well done for Hackman in the pink boy. Gilles Villeneuve catches the power slide through the chicane. Good job for Rivera, up 5 places to 8th. He has spent most of this race basically battling people, trying to get overtakes done. But pulled some good moves, especially through turn 2. Well, we'll see how the rest of this goes. We actually have a yellow flag here, as that is a retirement for Ayrton Senna. Senna's car has blown up. I think that is probably engine. Is it? No. It shouldn't have been fuel. Whatever it is, something was not happy in the Falcon, and Senna has retired from the race. So yeah, Villeneuve in 8th has basically been trying to overtake everyone today at his home race, actually at the circuit named after him. He's done what he can. Jim Clark is now 9th. Well, he's back to where he qualified. He's been up and down, but he's really mostly been down and then keeping out of trouble. Bartes, championship leader, down to 10th, down 6 places. He has been awful through the final chicane, which has cost him so much time in so many positions, and he's been lapped by his championship rival. Absolute disaster for Bartes this whole race has been. Martin Brundle, he lost his front wing quite early, had to pit out of sequence to change it, and it's been a recovery drive really. We'll see where he can get. He probably will take 6th, unless some fancy squeaky bum time changes that, but with everything as it is, 6th is probably the best he's going to get. Alain Prost is up 5 places here in the Falcon Motorsport car. He's the highest of the new teams, and actually the sole remaining Falcon now after Senna's recent retirement. Lewis Hamilton up 11 places to 13th. He started last on the grid and has kept his nose clean and watched everybody else fall off around him, and could be in for some decent points here for Cass Racing if he keeps it going. Nick Heidfeld he's also spent quite a lot of time pointing the wrong way at the final chicane, but he's 14th now, up 1. Again, he's kept his nose relatively clean compared to everybody else a bit further back. John Watson, he's lost his front wing once. He's kind of been in the battle with Clark. Well, when I say battle, he's kind of been ahead of Clark, who's been close. But it's not really needed at all. I think actually Villeneuve has lost quite a bit of time here. He has. I think it looks like it, because is right behind Hakkinen. Now Clark is really close. I think this is... he's just lost time with the blue flags, fortunately. Yuja Ide, also for Cash Racing, he's now 1 place off the points here. Up 7 places. He's doing quite well actually, it would seem. Perez up 5 for Bangalore. De Angelis has lost his front wing twice and he's still going to make another pit stop. It's been a disaster for him. Rivera. Dan Gurney 19th, he lost his front wing off the start, and it's been blue flag after blue flag from then onwards. Senna has retired. Schumacher has been in that wall of champions too many times. And we've got a bunch of retirements here. Bartes has lost time behind Ide, and that's allowing Brundle to get close and think about an overtake, but at the moment, nothing's happening. That is Heidfeld lost his front wing now. Nick Heidfeld, this is the final chicane, I think, so yes it is. Yeah, it's just taking too much curb on the way in, and it just doesn't have the steering lock to avoid that. He's holding up Hakkinen, but Villeneuve is a long way back and Clark is there, and Bartes is closing in on the both of them, as is Brundle. So De Angelis has unlapped himself on Prost, but he's probably going to get the blue flags, have to give the position back. He's just going to lose them all. Too much time, really. So Button's 35-second lead, it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger every time I look at it. Rossi is not closing out Verstappen, that's not going to happen, but De Vries, in the same vein, isn't closing in on Rossi at all. Bartesi's lead over Brundle is back to 1.4 seconds. These two, Brundle should catch him up, I suppose he is a bit heavier at the moment. Bartesi had got the inside of Heidfeld into the final chicane. Brundle didn't have to lose that time with the awkward angle because he's trying to get past the car that was about to fly into the pits. And that, Heidfeld's pit stop promotes Yuji Ide into the points. That is supremely useful to know. So Heidfeld will probably go to the end now. Anyway, so Senna, our first retirement, our latest retirement, sorry, with a blown engine or something. Michael Schumacher, who's just recovering from a bit of another spin, goes through. Heinz-Harald Frentzen, he had a crash at the final corner around the pit stop phase. Mario Andretti had a crash at the final corner, and Alonso was our first one to hit the wall at the final corner. I think Button might have had a bit of a nicky corner there. He has. So the race leader is not infallible. In saying that, Button he almost hit the wall at turn 2 at Laguna Seca in one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. He just locked up into turn 1, flew off into the gravel, just avoided the wall, and then carried on as if nothing happened. Both Harveys actually had massive moments on their way to the 1-2. Brundle properly jumped trying to lap someone at the corkscrew and spun backwards into a wall, and somehow kept going, and still came second. No idea how he did that, but he did it. So, as you can see, a few cars are starting to get a little bit low on fuel. Rossi's the first one beneath us, as Hoy, as Hackden is actually coming in this lap. So, we're starting to hit the second pit phase. Brundle has got past Barthez now. And that's going to help him no end. So, Villeneuve's getting close to hitting a pit stop. Hamilton's going to come in as well. There you go, Yuji Ide up to 15th. After Heidfeld's change of front wing. So Cass looking for double points here, which is actually really strong from them. You know, the new teams, they've come in, they've not been terrible, they've been beating some more established teams like Excelsior and Bangalore and High Tech. So, you know, that'd be a lesson for anybody else of my subscribers or non-subscribers who's watching this. You know, if you're not involved in the championship, you know, this is getting more views than there are people involved. If you're enjoying this, come over to the forums and join in. Create your own team. We're a friendly bunch of people. We're helpful. We want more people involved because the more people, the more fun it can be, you know. There are some spectacular liveries on this grid. When I say some, I mean all the liveries on this grid are absolutely spectacular. You know, even Pink Boy looks incredible. You know, everyone looks great, and if we can have more people joining, you know, more liveries is great fun. Every team just needs to choose an individual colour to be like the main colour of their car, and get it going, you know, design your own car or ask someone else to make it. We've got people who are happy to do it. So yeah, come along, get involved, create your own team's drivers. Might be late in the season, but you've still got a chance to be competitive. There's nothing wrong with joining late, as I think that was somebody looking a bit awkward trying to go into the pit lane. We have got a yellow flag as Sergio Perez is blocking the pit lane entry. What's happened to him? The brakes. Oh no! His engine has blown up as he's hit the brakes for the final corner. Perez has blown up and blocked the pit lane entry. That is going to be awkward for, well, people like Lewis Hamilton, who's had to go into the pits and driven into Perez. Admittedly, at least he's already coming in the pits, so the change of front wing will not losing any time on track at least. But for anybody of the leaders, Button's having to come in, he should be able to get past fine. And actually he's looking to put a lap on Chris Hoy, so that would be both DTKs, the Constructors Champions leaders, a lap down. That would be insane. But Gilles Villeneuve has managed to navigate Perez fine to get into the pits. Rossi comes in this lap. Still going as Hoy is fervently defending against Button. He doesn't want to let him through. He does not want the disrespect for him to be lapped again, or having to be lapped, and putting both your cars a lap down on the race leader. But if you notice down at the bottom in 20th place is Michael Schumacher, who is 6 laps down on the race leader. That is how bad he has been this race. Like, I mean, you've got to do 90. If he goes 7 laps down, he could technically be non-classified, which would be just insane. Heidfeld has managed to block Button and allowed Hoy to get away with not being lapped for another half a lap or something. If Fangio comes in this lap for his pit stop, as Button is going to come in this lap, so Hoy, if he's lucky, can postpone being lapped until he's had his pit stop. Verstappen is probably going to come in this lap as well, I'm guessing. Yep, Verstappen's coming in this lap. De Vries, not yet. Rossi has made his pit stop. So, Rossi going for the undercut again on the NLE Motorsport car. Can he make it work this time around? Fangio's out ahead of Clark, and so Fangio's ahead of Brundle. That is the important part of this battle. Armand Fangio's ahead of Brundle, and there's about 3 seconds between them, and they're both going to the end now. Bottas makes his stop. I'm going to get away. Joide's making his stop as well. And De Angelis is nearly back in the points. Schumacher is, well, he's still a couple of laps behind Perez, and even more. He's 2 behind Gurney, 3 behind Heidfeld, 4 behind everyone else, and 6 behind the leader. Joide exiting the pits in 16th, but there will be some cars ahead who've got to pit again, so that's not the end of the world, I'd say. De Angelis has blocked Barthez as Hamilton is running around without a front wing. Hamilton has lost his front wing somewhere in the last couple of corners. Who's it on? Is it on Gurney? It is! Dang, Gurney slows down at a completely stupid place and ruins it for everyone again. This time it's Hamilton's being ruined as Jenson Button makes his pit stop as Verstappen comes in on the same lap as well. Button exiting the lane as Verstappen enters. That's ominous. So Rossi, as he lost time behind Hamilton, that could be crucial here. In this battle with Verstappen, there's, I think, actually he's lost so much time there that Verstappen is just going to fly out the pits well before Rossi even thinks about getting close. This could actually be close to the 2 NLEs on the pit exit. But Verstappen comes out behind his teammate who is pitting this lap. Well, there be only 2 more, so will there be a team mess? Who knows? Who knows? But Fangio's got 3-second lead over Brundle. This is going to be 14 laps of fury for Fangio to keep the Red Knight ahead of the Harvey. Schumacher still hasn't got past his teammate who's been out the race for a few minutes now. He just has, as I said that. But Prost from 12th place, he's got 34 seconds back to Watson and he's got to pit. As there is a yellow flag as, oh my goodness, no way, Jenson Button, is this going to be another case of a leader throwing away a race win? Or just throwing away the lead on itself? So he just hit the curb and lost the rear. So hang on, I thought I heard what sounded like somebody else. No, he's not. He's hit the curb a bit too hard, lost the rear, skidded into the wall. Oh, I just want to check. It did sound like there was low engine noise. There might have been somebody else spun off ahead. Oh, don't tell me Schumacher's had it. Yeah, okay. So Schumacher has once again been an absolute moron into that corner. And then Button, he's spun, he's hit the wall. Winner of the last 2 races is currently parked nose first in the Wall of Champions, and John Watson has joined in. John Watson. hang on. No way has that just happened. So Watson was obviously the next one to arrive on the scene, and has found Watson in the wall. He's lost it on the curb, seeing the yellow flag, and has now joined in the fun. This is insane. As Button finally gets himself going again, he's actually come out in front of his teammate Brundle as De Vries comes in the pits. But Jenson Button has a 143, his best laps a 122, so he's lost about 21 seconds in all that. That is... Harvey are not making it easy for themselves. They are doing their best to throw away this race if they want to. That, or they're just flexing. They're just going, look at us, we can spin into the Wall of Champions, get parked there for a while, and we can still win this race. This is either the biggest prank ever, or they are trying to squeaky bum as much as possible. But yeah, so Jenson Button, that is at least the 3rd race this season where, through no completely on his own, he's made a mistake. At Imola, of course, from the lead, just drove off the track at the Villeneuve chicane, went through the gravel and dropped around about 10th. I think that is Schumacher spun at the final chicane again. Like, if you've been keeping track, please tell me someone's keeping track. Yep, Schumacher's gone again, he's hit the wall again. Oh, I give up. I really give up. It's unbelievable for someone to be this incompetent. So Button's got 12 laps to creep through that chicane. And I think Watson's just had a moment. You know, the spin has actually ruined it for his teammate, because it's 3 seconds and a lapped car between him and the leader. Between them. Here we go, Villeneuve now at the inside of Hakkinen into turn 1. He's going to get forced to the outside, which is going to allow Hakkinen to keep the position, which he does. Barthez, he's made it through the chicane, well done. He's not been doing that much recently. It's Hamilton, after his loss of front wing, is down to 17th. That's not ideal. Ide is now their only car in the points, and that's only a point for 15th place. Offensive limits of Clark 10th. Villeneuve is... he's going to have a go at Hakkinen, I'm sure, again. He's been trying to get past for yonks now. It's been so long he's been trying to do this, but it's not happened so far. He did get past at one point, but then lost it pretty soon after. Then some lapped cars and some spins and just everything else happened. Villeneuve now. He's got the power, he's got slipstream. He's now approaching 187 miles an hour. On the inside of the final chicane. Is he going to do it this time? It just... the inside line there is good. But you just can't... Oh, and we have some drama at the back. There's some drama at the back, and Yuji Ide is out. Yuji Ide. He's lost his rear wheel. Where's that happened? How's that happened? Oh, no. No, that is... something has... Oh... No, the engine's turned off. Something has failed in the back of that car. And Ide for Cass Racing. Big crash there at turn 1. Absolutely devastating. He's another one to join the list of retirees. All of this is promoting... well, it's going to take him a while to get there, but it's promoting Schumacher. He's slowly finding his way up the grid. Yeah, he's gonna. Well, he's 19. He's gonna be 18th in about 5 laps or something. It's taking a while. But we have another yellow flag at the chicane. As this time, I think it's Chris Hoy has had a spin. Chris Hoy, DTK Racing. What's he done? Yep. He's had a bit of a spin. He's clocked the wall, but not hard enough to do any damage. That 39-second lead he has over Fangio is big enough that he can get away with that. As I think, yes, Button has lapped Fangio now, which has brought Brundle right up close now. Brundle is... This is it. This is his chance for 6th. He's basically got 10 laps to find a way to hound his way past Fangio, and I think he's going to do it now. He's ahead into the braking point. But Fangio sweeps through. There's obviously really not much grip on the inside, despite the fact everyone's trying. It's all on the racing line. Brundle going to the inside for turn 1, but we've seen plenty of times that just means outside of turn 2, and yeah, Brundle's just thought, I'm not even going to bother getting the marbles on the tyres. You can have it this lap. Just take it. It's actually De Vries to Rossi. They're a bit closer than you'd think, and the gap between the leaders is down to 6 and a bit seconds. So, well, now Button's got past Fangio and he's got a clear air. He's got Schumacher ahead of him. That's probably his only worry. It's the only thing that's really going to stop Button is if Schumacher bots out of the final chicane and Button gets involved in his accident again. But apart from that, Verstappen has got 2 back markers to get past who are both fighting tooth and nail, one of which is the leader's teammate. I don't think he's got much chance, really. I really don't think Verstappen's got much chance unless Button finds Schumacher doing something completely moronic into this final chicane, which, as we've seen, is not the end of the process. Actually, Schumacher has spun, and he's actually finally retired from the race. Schumacher's finally hit the wall hard enough to rip a wheel off, and luckily, for everybody else's sake, he's managed to avoid getting hit by everyone. But, that's what I was saying, that's what Button needs to worry about. Because Schumacher puts his foot down, almost drives into the race leader. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? That is both Bangalore's out the race, unfortunately for them. So that leaves just 17 cars in the race, actually, as Gurney and Hamilton are the only ones now not in the points. Hamilton about to put a lap on Gurney at the back. As Heidfeld is 10 seconds, or Hamilton is 10 seconds away from the points, put it that way. Villeneuve still can't get past Hakkinen, and Brundle still can't get past Fangio. And the Fangio-Brundle battle in between Button and Verstappen, and public moron number 1 out of the way. Button's victory, should the imminent squeaky bum time not get in his way, is looking quite assured. Harvey do have one of the larger or better reliabilities on the grid, so squeaky bum time isn't really going to be much of a thing for them. Brundle pulls ahead on the way into the chicane, just on the brakes, but not enough that he can stop Fangio just turning in and getting to the second part of the chicane first. Brundle now has a look up the inside of turn 1, tries to pressure Fangio, but again he's just shown the marbles on the outside, and no can do. Villeneuve in the same boat with Hakkinen. Ah, no, he had to lift off because he just didn't quite think it was going to be worth chucking it up the inside there. Rossi is caught up, he's going to lap Villeneuve. He's going to put Villeneuve back a bit, away from Hakkinen. So, he's going to have to wait for Hakkinen to lose time getting lapped. Brundle is about to see some blue flags for Verstappen, which will not brighten his day, but like we've seen with Hakkinen and Villeneuve, he's just going to have to hope that Fangio loses a lot of time getting lapped at the same time. Here we go, De Angelis, who had to make his second front wing stop quite soon after his first one. He's having to pit again, which is going to throw it back to half and could find himself behind Hamilton. Hamilton is still trying to lap Gurney. This is Hamilton's chance to get past De Angelis, but looking at that, I don't think it's going to happen. He's lost so much time there. Brundle is still trying to get past Fangio and he still can't do it. Hakkinen is going to make it another lap without being lapped by Rossi. His pass is lap. There we go, there's the blue flags that Hakkinen's just seen. And he's going to pull over, is he? Brakes into turn 3 and lets Rossi through. Now, what can Villeneuve do? Now he's behind Hakkinen. Honestly, probably not too much right now, as Brundle has had to let Verstappen through, which has let Fangio disappear up the road. So exactly the same situation as Hakkinen and Villeneuve have just had. Yep, Villeneuve is closest to Hakkinen. It's about the same it's been for 90% of this race, to be honest. Villeneuve has seen the back of that pink boy an awful lot recently. I don't think it's going to be improving his mood in any way. De Vries has got the gap to Rossi down to under 5 seconds. I don't think there's enough time left in this race for it to get improved or anything. Fangio's got that 3 seconds now to Brundle. Villeneuve's had to take the blue flags for De Vries. Villeneuve's letting De Vries, which is not helping him get onto Hakkinen. That has ruined their fight. Verstappen is trying to catch up and get past Fangio, but Fangio's pace is looking pretty good at the moment. So he is not having to get through. Button has got 5 laps to go and he's just starting to catch a few of the back marks. That looks like probably Watson and... no. Oh yeah, that's Gurney, Prost and Hamilton. Who he's coming up to. Into the chicane. Oh, big slide from Button. He doesn't need to be pushing that hard as Fangio has. Just like he did to Button earlier. He's just hit the brakes and slowed Verstappen right up into the final chicane, which allowed Brundle to also almost do the same thing. So Fangio is seeing blue flags into the final chicane and then doing the exact opposite of what he should do. I just saw, I think that might have been Hakkinen having a moment at the final chicane. Let's just see. It definitely was a caution, although I think that's somebody already gone. Yes, it was. Ah, it was his teammate. It was John Watson. So Watson on his own, a bit too much curb, lost it on the second one, plonked the wall, got it going again, almost ruined Rossi's day. But Hakkins got past Watson. Villeneuve's now nowhere compared to them. Barthez, look at that championship leader, 11th place. He was 2nd place in the championship. A long way up. This has been a complete disaster. At least he's still going. That's the only semblance of good luck he's got, is that he's gonna score some points at least. In all this, Brundle has got past Fangio. Yes, so Fangio has had to let Verstappen through eventually, and Brundle's now right on his bum and has just got him into the 3-4 chicane. So Fangio has obviously been told over the radio, look, stop being a moron. He's just let Brundle through. The stewards are going to kill you. So, with approaching 3 laps to go, Jenson Button now has a 12-second lead as we have another yellow flag at the chicane. From which Button managed to navigate absolutely fine. Find out who that was. It wasn't De Angelis, it might have been Hamilton. Oh no, it's going to have been Heidfeld. Yes it is, so Nick Heidfeld has lost it on the curbs on the way in. Hamilton has shot through. And Prost has lost time and all that. So Button is now having to... This is probably the only thing that's going to cause him issues, is this massive clump of cars battling track position. As, oh, Button, he mounts the back of Gurney, almost takes Gurney's head off. What was he doing there? Jenson Button is not doing what he needs to. He is trying to throw this race away. What is he doing? So Gurney, he just jumps over. What is he doing? And Button has a half spin. He's lost even more time in all this, and Verstappen is getting closer and closer. There's only 5 seconds between the leaders. Button his car is damaged. He is on a mission to throw this away. He doesn't need the engine to squeaky bum time him, he's doing it himself. What is going on? Jenson Button is the chief bottler of everyone on this grid. Yet he's so quick. That's so much better than everyone else on the grid. He's still got a 6-second lead. What? Oh my goodness. I can't believe what I'm seeing. The fact that he's been so dominant that he's able to spend 20 seconds driving at the Wall of Champions. He managed to basically employ John Watson to pull him back around. He's tried to mount the last place car as he put a 4th lap on him, and he's still leading. Words failed me at Donington for just the chaos that was going on, but they're failing me here for just... Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that this late in the race? You know, your 10-second lead has evaporated, so we've got another yellow flag as somebody else is retired. There's a wheel missing. There's a wheel missing, as I think that might have been Lewis Hamilton. It was Hamilton off at turn 1. What's he done? What's Hamilton done here? Cash racing so close to getting finishes. Oh, it's the same thing that happened to his teammate. It's snapped under braking as he's hit the brakes for the first corner. Hamilton slides off into the wall. That's a big hit. Really testing the strength of this chassis. But so close to the end, and Hamilton is out the race. But for Jenson Button, that's one car he doesn't have to lap that can ruin it for him. That's the only thing that's going to cause him strife here. Verstappen gets past Gurney. This is now 1 lapped car in 3 seconds between him and Jenson Button with 3 laps to go. Button just needs to navigate Prost, and he should be fine. Of course, he can still find a way to throw it away himself. I mean, we've just seen what happened to Hamilton. But no, he's got the time back. He's got the time back. It's back to about 4-ish seconds. We'll see what it's like. As Brundle puts a lap on Gurney there. As the Hakkinen-Villeneuve battle is over because De Vries is stuck between them. Heidfeld's got the blue flags now for Verstappen. Button is trying to get past Prost here, as I think I pulled away from Heidfeld at the exact wrong point, as he's just ruined any chance we had of a battle for lead, as he's just parked it on the apex. He's been punted by Verstappen. Good job. Rossi's not close enough to really benefit from that, as Button now is trying to get past Prost. Is he going to try and mount him like he did to Gurney? No, he's not. He's going to try and get the inside of turn 3, which is probably the sensible place to do it. And he's through safe. Phew. Button now has 1.5 laps on his own to not throw it away. Whether he's going to do that or not is anyone's guess. He can still find a way to do something monumentally stupid. It could blow up Chris Hoy. We thought he was going to win an Imola until on the way down to Aqua Minerale his engine went nope and blew up. So it's anyone's guess here. But DeAndres has had an awful chicane. And all the rest of the gaps seem to be pretty spread out. De Vries is 7 seconds behind Rossi, who's 10 seconds behind Verstappen, is now 10 seconds behind Button. The back marks have not helped Verstappen as much as they didn't help Button. But here we go, Button's really awkward there. He comes across the start-finish line to begin the final lap. Jenson Button, it has been a really stressful race for him. He has been absolutely peerless. Nobody can keep up with him. Absolutely nobody. His pace has been just monumental. He's destroyed the field. But he's also done his best to throw it away. I mean, you might say he's trying to make it interesting, but the moves he's made, no, that is not trying to make it interesting. He needs some composure upgrades, put it that way. He's spun off at the final chicane, got it buried in a wall, got helped out by John Watson. That definitely saved him about 5 or 10 seconds, the way Watson came in and also joined in. And he's tried to flip it over Dan Gurney, trying to lap him for a 4th time. But yes, Dan Gurney lapped 4 times, Nick Heidfeld lapped 3 times. A few more cars, 2 laps down. Championship leader Fabian Barthez 1 lap down in 11th. It has been a dominant display for Button. He's made sure that his mistakes have been big, but few. Power slides through the final corner. He's showing off. He's done a dominant race. Jenson Button wins the Canadian Grand Prix. What a result that is for Harley Racing. 3 race wins on the bounce for Button. He's definitely going to take the championship lead there. Max Verstappen comes across 2nd place for NLE. And Siggy Pop Racing with Valentino Rossi finally get their first podium of the season. Rossi takes 3rd place. Brilliant race from him. De Vries crossed the line in 4th for NLE. And Chris Hoy is a long way back. But Chris Hoy is going to take 5th place for DTK Racing. It's not been the race for the championship leaders at all. Really has not been their day. As Hoy actually tries his best to throw it away there. He's going to come across the line to be the last of the non-lap drivers. 5 cars finish on the lead lap after 71 laps. Brundle takes 6th for Harley Racing. Fangio's 7th for Red Knight. Hakkinen 8th for 2KF1. Gilles Villeneuve takes 9th for Bravera, and Jim Clark rounds out the top 10. With Barthez, who spent so much time screwing around at the final chicane in 11th. He definitely lost the championship lead after that. There was only 6 points between them, and it's not going to be any more. Prost takes 12th. Brilliant finish for him. He takes his best result of the season. He takes his first points of the season. A great result for Falcon. Definitely the best of the new teams, especially as Cass got a double DNF. Watson takes 13th for 2KF1. DeAngelis is 14th for Bravera. And Nick Heidfeld scores a point for High-Tech Engineering in 15th, with Dan Gurney, another couple of laps back, in 16th place, the last finisher. Hamilton 17th, Ide 18th, Schumacher, Perez, Senna, Brenson, Andretti and Alonso were the retirements. Well then, as Jenson Button leads everyone slowly into the pits at the end of this, that was the Canadian Grand Prix of Global Formula Automobilista. I hope you enjoyed the race. I certainly have. If you have kept a tally of, or gone back and started a tally of how many times people spun off, please post it in the comments below. If you are subscribed to the channel, thank you very much. Feel free to like the video. If you're not, subscribe, like the video. If you're watching this and not part of the championship and enjoying the championship, please come to RaceDepartment. Post in the forums that you're enjoying it and that you want to join in. The more people post things in the comments, the more I know people are enjoying this. And who knows, we could see some brilliant liveries on the grid again. I'd love to see some brilliant liveries on the grid. So thank you very much to everyone for watching, and until the next race, which will be the Austrian Grand Prix at the very old Österreichring layout, that is it from me. So goodbye.